problem I see is just is the exposure, because information is key. I got to know about junior when I was in school. I went to OU. When I was in school, I got to know about junior, and I made my findings. I want to bring it closer to people. Like, you don't have to be selling in your shop alone, or for the person in the next street. Just because you are in KK, you have to sell for the person in Kadoso or Ilaje or Karemu. You can sell for somebody so far in Port Harcourt even without saying. I tell people, like, 90% of the clients I sold for, I don't know them. 90% of the clients I sold for, I don't know them. It's just, this thing is just connection. Junior they do their job, I do my job. I make the delivery, they deliver it for me. It's as simple as that. People don't know about this, and I make a lot of sales. I cannot lie to you. I make a lot of sales. The last junior anniversary that I went to, the 8 years anniversary, I sold over 400 pairs of slippers. Standard, over 400 pairs. I have my team. I have about 5 guys who work together. So people don't know about this. Even people that do fashion, they don't know about it. The people need to have this connection. I'm willing to bring somebody to train people week after week to let people know that this thing, you don't have to sell for somebody in Kirikiri alone. You can sell for somebody in Kaduna, in Kano, in Abuja, in Benin, and you make your money right in your account there, just in your office. If this thing can keep people busy, that is the people that have hand jobs. I'm taking people that have skills. If this thing can keep you busy, I believe even the crime rate will be so low in Kirikiri. Because now currently the crime rate is a little low because of the security that just came up in Kirikiri. Before, the crime rate is so high, you cannot walk in Kirikiri once it is past 10 or 11 o'clock. If you walk past the dark side, they'll hold you and they'll collect the phone. It's that bad, and because people are hungry, people want to eat. But when people have jobs, when people have different jobs to do, I believe the crime rate will be so low.
Okay, thank you so much. From your manifesto, your insight, you mentioned about how you want to bring about exposure, how you want to, you talked about security, and you also talked about the rate at which there are a lot of people who know how to do a lot of hand jobs, but they do not have access to some certain things. So I would like us to go into the area of how you intend, because it's one thing to have, an option of doing something, but how do you intend to achieve these goals in terms of the exposure? And also, you didn't talk about the tanker. Is it because, the way was have it out there that if you're having so many tankers around such an environment, then we have people who are taking money for that cause. So is there some sort of, there's sort of compromising situation where you feel maybe if you come into power, you have access to such situations to handle them, or you think it's just something that maybe we should be all looking at ourselves?
Thank you very much. You see, the issue of people collecting money from bankers is an issue of CBA. There are several CBAs. We call them communities in our side. We just use them community. The CBAs, they collect money. Yes, we have mostly is I cannot call them street boys because they are people I grew up with somehow. Okay. Some are my senior brothers, some are my uncles, but due to still the lack of no jobs, they happen to be on the road collecting 1,000 naira, 500 naira on some junctions.
But does it have effect on the society? Does it have effect on the community?
Exactly what I'm telling you. This money doesn't go anywhere. It doesn't go anywhere because no matter what they collect, they are dead the next day. The money doesn't show anywhere. It doesn't show anywhere in terms of maybe any development in the community. It doesn't show.
So as a councillor, what would you do? As a councillor, I want you to tell us how you can come.
all CDAs, we have to sit down and decide what to do with all those money being collected. These things, the way they are doing it, just like family business. They don't do it like a community business anymore, like something the community is supposed to be benefiting from. They do it like a family business. We have to do meetings to correct that. We have to adjust that. These meetings have to go a long way, even with the ballers, even with the depot, they have to send representatives. We have to do a series of meetings because even the elders in the community are not getting anything from this money. The roads are still bad.
So why? So categorically speaking, people just take money and go to their house and sleep, and other people.
Exactly what I'm saying. Exactly. Just take this money and then you go home.
Has the chairman been informed of such, or should we assume that they're also aware of this happening in various communities where tankers are plying on the road and the roads are going bad, the people are complaining? So who is?
They are aware. I'm very sure they are aware. They are. Like I said, it's just like a family business. So we have to visit all that. There have to be records of money being collected, what is to be done with it. Not just you collecting money and then the community remains. It's not even the same. The community is going worse because I cannot say the same. I know Kiri used to be before. Now it is worse. I cannot even carry my car out. For the past 4 days now, I parked in Kiri because moving out is a problem. Coming in is a problem. So it's just better I just leave my car there. People of the community, they suffer all these kind of things and they enjoy nothing. All these things have to be revisited from the ballet to the representative of all depots. There have to be a series of meetings to correct this because these things it has gone a long way. It is a rot. It has been happening for over 5 years, and I can remember over 5 years.
Okay. Tough situations, but I would say it begins from me and you as an individual to make things better, because I think we are at the point now in Nigeria where we have to come down to we as the citizens and the masses and ask ourselves the questions, because whoever you're looking up to do some certain things doesn't even know where you stay, doesn't know your road, he's not aware. So coming to you now with your interest in being a counselor, have you also looked at the area of those things? Because, Kirikiri, as we know, you said it before, it was quite a very dangerous environment. I also have had an experience whereby you're there and then they're telling you, you're still there by this time. Quick, it's more like when you mention Kirikiri, it's like you're going to a den. It's as if the people, there's nobody living there. It's just when you go there, they'll just, a lot of things happen. So coming from me, I know the things you're saying, I am actually surprised. And I would like to know, aside the fact that you have the interest of changing the environment, have the interest of making the youths better and all, you coming into the seat of the councillor automatically gives you access to have meetings, not just with the chairman. You can also write to the Lagos state government and say, okay, can we have an availability of this towards this purpose in our society? So given that chance, we know that money will definitely come. And when money comes, people change. So we would like to know, are you the type that works alone, or you have a team, or you're strictly out for the people, not just by words, not by word? So assure us.
I've had a lot of this particular question you're asking me. People tend to be scared. You understand, when money comes, people change. That's true. Because
exactly
by this, people refer me back to the current person in charge. So such situations happen. Firstly, I would say we were not born with money. Everything I had today, I also did myself. With little help from family, but myself, I also did myself. And so I can say when it comes to money, I'm not a visitor to money. I've been seeing money a long time. At least past 4, 5 years, 6 years. I've been seeing money. I still pay the salary of about 7 people right now. So I'm quite okay for at my age, or somebody coming from KK. I'm very okay. Even the people of KK, if you ask about me, they can tell you. Even when I'm working, I don't see myself not talking to anybody. Just like you said, like you have a team of people. Yeah, I have my team. This is my team cartel team. But in terms of politics, I think I can relate to everybody. I relate to everybody. There's nobody I cannot relate to. Even if I see you with an opposition party, we still talk. Back in KK, like 5, 6 years ago, I was a DJ. I was a DJ. I used to DJ back in school. And when I came to KK, I still DJ till 2015 when I stopped. When I started working with Junior, I could not balance both. No, I could not balance both. And what I'm trying to say is, even recently, the one of the DJs that did the rally for the other party is a friend. I still saw him yesterday. We still talk. It's nothing. I cannot say because you follow the other party to the rally or something. It's never like that. When you want to be a leader, you have to pay for everybody. You have to hear from everybody. You have to be able to listen to everybody. I keep saying it. I will not change my number when I'm there. If I happen to be there, I will not change my number. My number is in my shop. You can go to my shop. You can call it anytime. I'll take it. I will listen to you. I must hear what you want to say. Talk. And I'm always ready to listen. No matter what, I'm always ready to listen.
All right, a quick one. For those of the audience, we'll be getting about 5 questions from the audience so that we can quickly take this because our time is fast spent. We'll be getting 5 questions from the audience. If you have any questions to ask, kindly please signify by raising your hands like this. Over to you, Sheung. Do you have any question for Mr. Olarenwaju, Mustapha? And so that we can move on from there.
Oh, okay. So thank you very much. I've been following. Can you hear me? Is this good?
Yes.
Is it audible enough?
Yes.
Okay. Interesting discussion so far. I wish the APC candidate was here. I mean, it would have been more interesting to hear from her too. My own question is still looking at the pragmatic, the workability of what we are discussing here right now. I mean, Mr. Olarenwaju, you are from PDP. Yeah. You know we're in an APC state, right? And so in an APC state, we know we are dominated, the party dominating all offices are usually APC. And now it's not going to be far-fetched if we say if you get into office, you probably will be surrounded by your opposition party, probably from other wards or even the chairman himself. And it becomes a bit tough. Yes, you have good ideas you want to implement. And let me take you to the scenario of a bad boss. If you have a bad oga, for instance, and you have to work with that oga, it gets difficult to get something out from the oga, especially when your guy is in the opposition party, for instance. Now, how do you plan to manage such situation? And then your friends are probably from that opposition party too. That means your colleagues in the office and your oga are not on your side. However, you have to get that work done. I don't know if you've experienced such before, but then how do you plan to maneuver? Because you have things you want to do, but then you'll be pitching this to people that are not on your side of the divide, even though we assume that after elections you become partyless. But we still know there's still the party part of you guys when you get in. Now, how do you plan to manage such situation, assuming you are going to work with a boss from a different party?
Thank you. Thank you very much. Well, if I happen to be the chancellor, I am not expecting an easy ride. I am not. I know I am in an APC state. Luckily for them, I happen to be a Yoruba state. I always believe always find a common ground. I have my way of getting people to do things for me. So being APC or PDP, as long as you're a boss and I want something from you, I believe I have my way and we are going to get something done. I am not expecting it to be easy. There was no time I was expecting it to be an easy life. I've never even been in an easy place all my life. I've always been fun, struggling one way or the other, but I always find a way to emerge top of any situation I am. I work well under pressure. Let me just put it that way. Like currently now, I'm supposed to be in another meeting. I have to stop, buy a jersey, and just attend to this meeting because I already saw the time. I have to keep the time. So these are one of the things I just have to, like a young guy, I just have to find a way to get myself out of the situation. So I believe even if I'm in the office, they will do the thing for me. As long as it is what my people want, they will find a way out, to find a common ground. And I believe it is going to work. Okay. Right. Wait,
Okay, thank you very much. I think we have questions coming in from the audience now. Princess, okay. You want to check the questions out? Or do I go ahead?
Do you have... No, you can do that. You can do that.
Okay, so let me look. The question is from Mr. Duem Akawo. Mr. Duem is asking, he says he wants to thank you for making yourself available. And he says, even though it looks like it's a small things count more. I believe that. So his question is, why should you be voted for? Why should people trust you? What makes you different from others? I believe he answered this question before, but again, maybe Mr. Akamo is just joining us. So maybe you want to go over that again. Why should people trust you? Why should we vote for you? And briefly, just again.
Yeah. Firstly, thank you for the question. Like I said before, the situation of the country, not just even my town alone, the situation of the country actually is tiring. That is one of the main reasons why I am going for this position. Because we have to start small to change this thing from grassroots. Sometimes people ask me, what is your main reason? What gingered you? Let me just put it that way to like come out of this position. Because everybody know me before. My town, I am not a politician. Though I follow them, I go out, I go to their meetings, but anything being a sportsman, I don't like being a sportsman before. But then we all cannot just be shying away from the fact that we don't want to involve in politics. When you don't do politics, you leave the space for the people that are not so bright to make decisions for you. And when people like that make decisions for you, somehow you may feel it's not my business. I did the business, it's not my problem. When they make that decision for you, everything still goes one way or the other. An example is the owner of Go-Kada. The owner of Go-Kada came to Lagos and was doing good. But just one bad decision, he went back to the UK and got killed. Today, there are still bikes everywhere in Lagos. Everywhere there are bikes, local bikes. Even as packaged as the Go-Kada Okada is, we are back to square one, just like what we've been running from. Yesterday, I got home past 2 yesterday, all because the hold up was everywhere. We don't have good transportation. We don't have good no linking of transportation. Let me just put it that way. The road are still staying messy. We've been talking about these roads for years. Same thing in my community. Same thing every other place. My community is still suffering from same thing. We just have to come out. We just have to get involved in this politics. We all cannot be running away from it. We have to get involved. We have to just come out and do good. I believe I can do good. I believe I can change so many things if I'm given the chance.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much for replying that answer from Mr. Duem Akor. So there is a question from Amen Giwa, and she is saying, how do you intend to network or leverage on key individuals and perhaps any corporate body within the environment to bring a change to your ward. And she is also, and okay, I think you take that question before we go further. How do you intend in making yourself available, networking rather, individuals, and perhaps bringing corporate bodies within your environment to bring a change to the world? I think that's the question.
Firstly, I think we have to start that by having this series of meetings I'm talking about with these so-called companies around inside our town. At least I can say we have about the tank farm in Creative should be about 10 or so. And the companies I can say they are up to like 15 companies, and they are building more. They are building more because there's some places are not done. You still see the helicopter, they come daily to supervise. So the companies are still coming. We have to find a way. Not even by finding a way, I have to see the valley. They have to call for meetings. And then they have to call, if they cannot come in person, they have to send representatives to us that is going to carry all our message to them, give them feedback on what we want as a community, as a town. Because I have been on the streets.
You seem a bit distracted.
No.
Okay.
Passing by. I have been on the street not because of the election. I have been on the streets all my life. I was born on the streets, so I've been on the streets. I cannot say interview. I talk to so many people, and we get the same kind of problem from people. People need jobs. There are so many graduates everywhere. They need jobs. They have to be fitted somewhere, somehow. They have to be fitted to work and like do what they can for the community.
Okay.
We have to start. I have to start this by saying the ballet. All right. The ballet of comfortable. You have to do all that.
And I hope you have an understanding that you are also, as a councillor, one of your core duty is to see to the enforcement of projects that are being implemented by the chairman. Because it seems that over time, when a particular ward gets a project commissioned, I think most of the councillors, they go to sleep. And then whatever happens over there, everybody runs back to the chairman. Don't you think it's high time the councillor starts taking responsibility for everything that we're throwing down to the chairman due to the lack of effectiveness from them?
Well, I like to get my job done. Actually, I'm somebody that if I start something, I like to finish it. So when it comes to supervising the project or making sure the project is completed, you can count on me for that, like 100%. When I start something, I'll get it done. Anybody that knows me knows I like to do that. When I start something, I'll finish it. And I don't like leaving something halfway. Maybe I'll have to come back and do it or something. No. When we start something, you have to finish it. Not even talking of something that involves the community that's going to find a way to better people's lives. Because if the roads are good, even when you fly the road, you can actually, the fare are going to be reduced. There will be maybe minimal casualties, or because that town, the way the tankers are passing through, is like a disaster waiting to happen. Sometimes the way the trailers they go through, the way they move, and it's scary when you're there to watch it. And we all know how fragile these trailers they tend to be when they fall down or when they get tipped up by something. Maybe a big stone or something just tip them up, and then a tanker happens to spill over. Either a tanker carrying a container or a proper tanker, it's a disaster. And there are so many people in that community that are going to be affected.
Okay, thank you, Mr.
Larry. I think. So, Sheun, would you like to say something? Our time is fast spent.
Mr. Yobami had his hands up. Mr. Yobami, are you still there? Mr. Yobami, you had your hands up. Ayobami Adebayo.
Yes, I have just one question which goes by. Majorly, right now, the situation of the youth around, how do you plan to tackle youth empowerment? Because lately it's become something very, very important, and a lot of counselors say they will do this, they will do that, and they eventually end up not doing anything. So, how do you plan to go about that?
Okay, thank you. I spoke on that before, but let me just say it again. So I spoke on that by talking about the involvement of e-commerce for artisans, maybe people with skills. Secondly, apart from just skills, we have so many talent. We have so many talents in that town. I've seen so many footballers. They play ball for so long, 5, 10, 15 years, and then there's nothing to show for it. They happen to just quit and start collecting this 500 they are talking about. That happens to be like a retirement home for them. When you've done all kind of things, you've tried your talents, you've done your job, you've gone to school and you're back and there's nothing to do, you stand by the roadside and start collecting 500. You have to work on that. Your skills, you have to be able to use your skills to take way for yourself. If you're a footballer, there should be an avenue for you to showcase yourself. If it's a football tournament every year, just once in a year, for these people to come out and do stuff for themselves, people playing basketball, invite people from outside to just come show yourself, you win prizes, and the talents can just go out to the world. You have to bring the involvement of the involvement of the internet, right? The media. Actually, there has to be a face. People should be known for something more than just praising, which is actually one of the problems we are having. It is known as just praising. It has to be known more than that. We have to know that people are living in here. There are people with talent. There are so many people living in here. There are companies here. There are people here. So I think when we start to work with the e-commerce, start to work with people's talents, when we get involved with the youth, all these things are bound to change.
All right. Being a well-grounded person in your local government, do you have like an estimated figure of your population size is right now?
If I'm going to look at 3K population, 3K are comfortable. We might be getting more than 1 million.
Over.
Yes.
And in terms of election, because what is your own, should I say, what is the measures that you're putting in place to bring out people to vote? Because remember, a lot of people these days are having this lackadaisical attitude towards voting because they say, even if we vote, we don't vote, what will happen will happen. Yeah. So what are the measures you are putting in place to make this happen? Let's say we have 1 million people. How sure are you that over 700 will be coming out to vote for the cause of having a councillor? Or we should take it as the usual?
Yeah, that is not possible to have been frank with ourselves, because firstly, not everybody has the voters card. Even the new one they're doing now, it's kind of difficult to get because you have to book an appointment. And then the last time I checked, Oriade is full. You have to book an appointment with Papa. So it is actually giving some people headache to make it. And then when I talk about the population, I'm not talking about just youth. There are little kids everywhere. There are little kids everywhere. So little kids are part of it, and people that are not up to 18 are also part of this population we're talking about. And then when it comes to this lackadaisical attitude, I cannot blame them, because the first time they've been out to vote, like the last election, it was even raining. People were inside the rain. They came out to vote. People followed the vote all the way from Lucas. They followed it to the secretariat. People were still inside the rain just for the announcement of the result. They just want to hear the result. And then after voting, they didn't see the person for the next 4 years. So when anywhere I go to campaign, I get to hear the same story over again. They tell you, don't be like this person, don't be like this person, don't be like this person. The only grace for me is that I happen to be somebody that is well known in the town. Even from my parents and myself, So that is just one of the saving grace for me. So they be like, ah, we know you, know people, know people like that. Because how can you just come in and then you disappear for a whole 4 years, and you want the people to come out the next 4 years to come and vote? It's a little bit difficult. But that is why we are employing the procedure of campaigning house to house mostly. We've been doing house to house, we've been meeting people personally to convince them, meeting groups,
All right.
and meeting on the one house to house.
Okay. All right, thank you. So you're having the house-to-house measures of getting people to come out. So Mr. Ayobami Adebayo has a question. I think this is the last question we'll be taking. Our time is fast spent already, so that we can all get back to business as usual.
Sorry,
so Mr. Ayobami Adebayo, please, your question.
Yeah, just one more question. I'd like you to elaborate more what on your plans towards small scale businesses. Like, elaborate. Let us know your plans.
On what?
Small scale businesses around the area.
He's saying he'd like you to elaborate on small scale businesses, how you hope to. I think you mentioned something like that before, but please kindly go about it like, again on how you hope.
Elaborate. Let us know the in-depth.
Elaborate on it. Okay.
You're talking about the petty traders or people with
petty traders, people that cannot make their businesses stand by themselves, that need help. Do you get my point?
I think we have to, I get you. And for that, we have to make available maybe the government loan for them. I think that is one of the easy ways to help small scale businesses, because you can't go about giving them personal money. So you just have to make available any chance you have for the government loan to get to your community. You have to work on that. You have to just grab that and make sure all these women or men, let me just say mostly women, because when they come to small scale, there are people doing indomie like the roadside. On almost every junction, you get them. They are there 2-3 o'clock in the night. So we just have to help them in that little way for them to have access, maybe to do it a little bigger, a little better for them. Does that answer your question a little?
Yeah,
Mr. Adebayo?
Okay. Yeah, well, but judging by the time we've got, I think that is good enough for now.
All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Olarenwaju Mustapha. A quick one before you go, please kindly, just give us a wrap of your intentions. We know we already have what you told us, what you want to do. You told us where your background, you've given us every information we need to know. But supposedly, it goes otherwise. Would you still be available to put in these things into action using other means, aside from the office of the councillor?
Thank you very much. Well, thankfully, election or no election, I'm always someone that is ready to impact knowledge on people. I like to help people. I like to see myself impacting knowledge on people. I like to see the thing I impact on you. When I see you using it to work or make it for yourself, I'm always very happy. I don't believe in the term of giving everybody money, because it is not possible. And even when you give people money is something that is going to come and go. But when you impact someone with knowledge, this knowledge is actually going to make way for them, except the person is not willing to use it to work in any way. But when you have the knowledge, like some of the things I can do personally, my mother is a photographer. When she was a photographer, I used to be the person to design pictures for her. I'm very, very familiar with Photoshop. I know how to use CorelDRAW. My banner, the poster I sent for this, I made it myself. I make my banners. I can do my designs myself. I have a boy in PDP that is a photographer. The last time I spoke to him, I was trying to just educate him, tell him to look outside, not just within the town only. You have to source for knowledge. You have to find knowledge. Yeah, there are people that have done it bigger and better. You have to look for how it is done, look for ways that it is being done. I told him, even if he has the chance, you can come. I can put you through on things to do in regards of making your pictures better. So
Right.
also I made,
Okay.
like I said before. Okay. I'm with you.
Okay. Thank you so much. You seem to be very enthusiastic about your environment, and that's a very good factor to really want to serve. You seem like you're willing to serve, and we hope opportunity to serve and also understand the fact that you being a counselor or you get into the position of a counselor is not that you should, it's not a personal benefit, but for the better good of the people. We hope and pray, and we wish you all the best in the following election. And we also encourage that you keep on this fight. We encourage that you also stay on this cause of making Kirikiri a better place for not just yourself, but also for the residents and the people living over there. Thank you so much for coming on Amuwodecides, hosted by Festac Online. And we also want to thank our sponsors. In fact, they made this possible, from the range of the youth can, the range of we have our Shegun Ayane is also a part of it. We want to say. And we also have our Wealth Media, the Real Heart Media. We want to thank you for also being part of all this. So basically, we're saying we wish you all the best. And to the audience, if you have more questions, you have anything you'd like to send out to me, Olarenwaju Mustapha, I'm sure you have social media handles where they can reach out to you. You have a platform where you also connect with the community, because we are in the digital age and we like to also have an up and doing counselor so that is relatable. I hope you understand, Mr. Olarenwaju Mustapha.
Yeah, I do. I do very well.
All right, thank you so much. Hi, my humble self, I'm VJ Priceless. I'm a born and bred bona child of Amuwodecides, born and raised in Festic Town. And also, Mr. Shed, where is Mr. Shehu? Mr. Shehu Ayeni, have you deserted us?
I'm here. I'm on the move. Okay. Yeah.
So we come to a close on Amuwodecides with Mr. Olarenwaju Mustapha. We're so sorry, and we apologize on behalf of the APC candidates, because we can't seem to find them, or they maybe one or two happenings. You know how it is in Nigeria, Lagos, crazy everywhere. Thank everyone that has used their data to be on this platform. God bless all of us, and we pray for a greater Nigeria. Please, Mr. Shehu, are you the one that will pray for us so that we can come this meeting to a close? Mr. Shehu?
I think Eva can do that. Eva, are you there? Let us see your face. Eva is the convener, so Eva.
Okay, so words just came in from Mr. Lani Kaka. He said the APC candidate is in a rally, but it's fair enough. But this is actually also as important as a rally, because whatever you're saying in a rally has to be said here too. So over to you, Eva. The next by 7 p.m. The next session starts by 7 p.m. Thank you so much for that kind reminder to us, Mr. Tony, Real Heart Media. Thank you so much. Eva, are we getting the closing remark from you?
Yes. I just want to say thank you. Thank you, Mr. Olarenwaju Mustapha, for making out time to be a part of this session. I know how busy your schedule is, and you know how close the elections are. Thank you very much. Thank you for everyone joining and using your data. We appreciate. As BJ Pele said earlier, we have a session by 7 for Ward F. We have starting by 7 o'clock. We encourage you to join in, and please share the link to more people. We want more people to join in. And Mr. Mustapha, we need your social media handles so we can share to people, so people can reach out to you at any point in time for the elections. So thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.